Are you ready to learn to get rid of stress in your life? To learn how to deal with the emotional turmoil that causes strokes, heart attacks, bad health, and even weight gain? Life-changing habits for work, family, and everyone you deal with start here with Andrew Wittman. It's time to get warrior tough. Here's Andrew Wittman and Dutch Coleman.
What's up? It's time to get warrior tough, the most monumental hour in media anywhere. We are your leadership and mental toughness coaches, Andrew Wittman and the Dutch Coleman.
What's happening, everybody?
Oh, hey, Dutch. You know, I'm up here in upstate New York. I'm in Monticello, and it's cold, man. I know I'm a baby about that, but that's why I moved to South Carolina and joined all my brethren in the warmer states.
I was going to say, man, it was pretty warm here today. It rained a little bit, but
yeah. I mean, I got off the plane, right, and I'm like, I can breathe, and you could see, it's like frosty air. Your breath is, and it's like raining. And it was 40, and I'm like, it's May. Are you kidding me? I mean, it's just anyway. It's all good. If you want to join the conversation, use the hashtag #GetWarriorTough on Twitter. You can find Dutch at the Dutch Coleman. I'm at WarriorToughPhD. If you want to call in, the call-in number is 855-856-1380. That's 855-856-1380. We'd love to hear from you tonight. Tonight we got some good stuff queued up, Dutch.
Hey, man, brother, I'm looking forward to it, man. Whenever we get good questions from our followers, whether it be followers on Twitter, people who are subscribed to the page, www.getwarriortough.com, friends and family. I just love when they send their questions in and we get to address them because they're real life questions. They're issues that people are truly dealing with today, and being able to address them it's just really, really rewarding.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's real life. It's where folks are at, and it also there's some great questions. All right, so we picked a couple from tonight. And we'll start off with this one, and we'll jump right in. It says, what can I do right now, today, to start thinking like an elite warrior?
Great question. And it's a question that people have even not bring us into the picture. But I'll give you the first my first thought when I hear that question is get yourself some training. Right. And that's even without us, because if you take us out of the equation and you say, how do I insert any skill set or any vision or any desire, any wish to improve in anything, the first thing I would do is I say, you go get training.
Right. What can I do right now? Yeah, that's where you start. You absolutely
go be taught.
Start. Yeah.
I want to sing. What do I do? Go get lessons. I want to play the piano. Go get lessons. Go get training. Go get taught. And so you can get a foundation on what you're trying to do. So that would apply for everything. That's not even about us. That's just about anything in life that you're trying to do.
So right. So the first step in anything is to figure out what to do, right? How to do it, and then as you hone the skill, when to do those things. So but that kind of brings me to the next thing is we're getting ready. We're starting this Tuesday, May the 10th, our new Phalanx group, right? So it's a 12-week block of coaching. You could get it if you go to the store under the coaching bundle on the getwarriortough.com. Click the live coaching bundle. It'll tell you all the details. 12 weeks with Dutch and I every Tuesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Get live coaching. It's a 12-week block, and I think it's $299 is what it's up there for, which is a huge deal to get 12 hours with Dutch and I for that. I mean, we charge $250 for a half an hour when we do coaching with executives and stuff. So it's a huge value. I wouldn't skip out on it. The class is filling up. We've got several in there already. If you want to jump in, you got to jump in quick because we start Tuesday, and you got to get the homework, and there's an initial assignment, and then the homework assignment is also due by Sunday. But you could do it, and that's a great way to start thinking like an elite warrior today.
And speaking of value, man, I would use words like invaluable. I mean, I can't put a number on what that is worth. And when I'm thinking about it, I'm considering the people that have gone through it and how much they've progressed. And not just in their business lives, but their personal lives, because we're talking about the whole person, because everything begins there. Everything begins there. Everything grows from there. So you're growing inside out. And the impact that we've seen from this 12-week coaching class, it is incredible. And so if I pictured myself as one of the individuals, I would have been more than happy to pay that money. I mean, people are advancing in their businesses. People have started businesses based on the training that we've had. And so you're talking about that small investment in yourself. It's invaluable.
Right, and if you want to see what some of our clients are saying about it, because there's testimonials. If you go to the speaking and training page and you click down on the drop-down menu, you'll say what our clients are saying or something like that. It's like the client stories, or I can't remember what it is exactly, but it's what the clients say. And start reading, and there's a couple videos up there, and there's some great stories that were typed in. And if you are a current client and you don't have a story up there, there's a form on that page for you to go type in your testimonial, right, for you, and then we put it right, it'll go right up on the page right there. So it's like a tip, Dutch. I mean, it's not even an investment. It's like a tip, man. I mean, we give way more than. And this has always been my mantra, and we talked about this last night on the advanced call, because we do have an advanced group after the 12-week group. We have an advanced group called the Praetorian Alliance, right? So in that advanced class, that advanced call, where it's like the black belt class, we were talking about that. My endeavor is to always give 10 times the value minimum. Like as soon as I make that mark, then I can go to sleep at night knowing that I gave 10 times the value of whatever job that I take. And I'm telling you, this is more than 100, closer to 1,000 times the value to spend the 12 weeks with us walking through this tried and proven process to begin to think like an elite warrior.
And it's real. Again, when I say it's real, I mean not just the theoretical value of it, but the application. People are applying the principles. People are, again, advancing in areas of their life that actually have health consequences in a positive way, and dollar sign consequences. So
and relationship consequences. I mean, they're like
absolutely.
It's better with their kids. It's better with their wife. The whole thing, or their spouse, because we have like this a lot of ladies in the group too. Like they're learning how to deal with their husbands. So it kind of goes both ways. But hey, so Dutch, I'm just going to give the folks a little taste of what they're going to. So in order to think like an elite warrior, first off, we got what does that even mean, right? So we're talking about like the lowest level of thinking is autopilot. Right, where we're just disengaged. Is kind of like when folks are driving home from work after a long day on Monday, and you got the radio playing, but you're not there. You're thinking, you're decompressing, whatever. You don't remember passing the Quick Trip or the Spinks or the Bob's Big Boy. You don't remember getting off on your exit. You don't remember going. Did you stop at that traffic light or not? I can't remember. You're on autopilot. Your body is driving the car, and we taught that the body is running the boardroom. You're just on autopilot. You're disengaged, and you're just going through the motions. And I know a lot of people, Dutch, that they go to work like this, and it's like being on that rat wheel or the hamster wheel, the gerbil wheel, whatever it is, and you're just going through the motions.
Absolutely, man. And this is not a good thing for some people, because the moment you said that, they're thinking of themselves being there, and they're like, the shoulder kind of drops, because we know that's where we are. We know that's where a lot of people are these days, and we have got to get out of there. We have got to. The first step is identifying it. That's what we're doing. So don't be, don't be down because you realize that you're in that place. It's good when you realize you're in that place, because then and only then do you even have a chance to get out of there.
Right, and it's like that Pink Floyd song. What is it? Comfortably Numb. Right, it just describes so many people in this country, man. We're just going through the motions. We're just trying to get through. We self-medicate. Not just with drugs or alcohol or whatever, but it's self-medication with, talk radio or sports or TMZ and celebrity gossip or what binge watching on and listen, I like binge watching too, but I'm not self-medicating, right? I know when to shut off the morphine drip, okay? So I'm not getting on anybody about this. We're just realizing that's a level of thinking is autopilot. And then the next level up is negative thinking, right? So the negative thinker, then they know everything that could go wrong is going to go wrong. We're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, and we'll say stuff like this, well, I never can get ahead, and stuff like that, right? And so that's the negative thinker, man. And your emotions are running the boardroom as a negative thinker.
And, it's funny because as we listen to these, and even the next one, as you hear these different ones, they're all bad for different reasons.
Right.
And so The thing is not to feel good about not being one or the other, but there's only one to be, and we're going to get there shortly.
We're going to get there.
Again, so when you go autopilot and you go to the next step, negative, we can tell you a large number of reasons why you shouldn't be either one of these. And again, it's going to surprise you when we even say that about the next one as well. So, think about each one of these steps, and don't think about them just as steps, but think about them as places you don't want to be. And what we're talking about are the reasons you don't want to be there. So again, we're identifying. We're not judging.
No.
We're not doing anything. We're trying to help you identify where you are, because then if you know where you are, then you know how far or what direction or what you need to do to get to where you need to be.
Right, and so this is really the first step in any trip or any day is figure out where you're at right now, right? Where you are, so you can go to where you need to, where you want to go. And we want to be like an elite warrior in our thinking, then we got to figure out where we're at. So, yeah, the autopilot, right, disengaged, body's running the boardroom. Negative, like anything that bad could happen will happen. I'm always, the other shoe's going to drop. Oh, you can never get ahead. We could never afford that, all these things, right? So that's the negative thinker. Emotions are running the boardroom. The next step up is where most people in the self-help and the professional development industry stop, is positive thinking. Positive thinker. And I'll tell you, this is just as deadly, if not more deadly, than the negative or the autopilot. Positive thinking can and will get you killed. And I use the example, and so here's the positive thinker is, so sunshine and waterfalls, I could lay down in the highway, I will not get hit because all the drivers will see me and swerve, nothing bad will happen to me, I'm good, I'm in a bubble, listen, at no time when I was ever, deployed did I walk up to the Taliban and think, hey, you know what, if I just give them a hug, everything will be all right. No, they're going to try and kill me, man. Okay, that's just what it is. Okay, so the positive, again, the emotions are running the boardroom for the positive thinker. And it's just the opposite end of the spectrum as the negative thinker, but either way, you're making emotional decisions.
Absolutely, because whether it's negative or positive, it really doesn't matter if it isn't made the right way. Decisions shouldn't be made on what do you call it, polarity. It should be made with information, and a lot of times we do that. We convince ourselves that I'm gonna just be positive, just walk into the situation positive. Now we know you shouldn't walk into a situation negative, and we can even have a conversation where you can say why one is better than the other. But I don't like having a conversation why one is better than the other. I like having a conversation about what is best.
Right, and that's where we're trying to get to, which is the critical thinker, where the mind is running the boardroom, where I take risks. But I manage those risks. I control those risks. I evaluate the risk based on the reward, and I never get myself into anything that I don't already have a way out of. And it's not about being positive or negative. It's about honest assessment, objective reality, and taking facts and using that to make logical decisions. And we use the emotion to drive us. And that's what the elite warrior does. Critical thinking is that level where we need to be. Where it could be positive, it could be negative, it could be both, but what I'm taking is factual information and making a good decision. And that way, I'm not at the whim of what I feel like or whether I feel good or I feel bad, because that's not even relevant to the target. Right.
And the thing is, it's easier to maneuver even with it, because as those variables and as those factors change and you have to course correct, it will be based on information. And if you're doing it based on emotion, then what happens is a lot of times you don't even consider the information. You're still going off of feeling, whether you feel good or bad about something, further ignoring information and facts. So if you base everything initially on facts, that's the only thing that's going to adjust it, or facts and information. So that's where you need to stay when it comes to these decisions, the type of thinking that you're doing. You need to use information. You need to use what's relevant. And that's where we need to get people first and foremost. What are you basing your decisions on? How are you thinking? What's your process?
Right. So, we're up on a break, Dutch. When we get back, then we'll jump into some more of this on a deeper level. But just to remind everybody, autopilot, then negative thinking, then positive thinking, and then the elite warrior is a critical thinker. You're listening to the Get Warrior Tough radio show with Andrew Wittman and the Dutch Coleman.